You know, we can now take, right now we're writing a patent. I'm working with Jeff Yee, another mathematician that we worked, and me and Chris are doing another patent, but we're able to take the radioactive decayed water, the stuff that they're using to cool those rods, and use the proper angles of incidence and the proper field, and can reverse that radioactive decay to in days, and not take 100 years in order for it to do it. It's just the change of pressure and motion conditions. When I was talking to Jeff Yee about it, he was like, well, we can use neutrinos coming from the sun, and saw that there was a different relationship, like I was saying before, how radioactive decay seems to happen quicker around Venus or closer to the sun. And I was like, is it possible that that's due to the change in the greater pressure condition that's happening, and therefore the electricity is able to have a greater effect upon it? You know, it's like, oh, no, how do you know that the pressure is greater, you know, at Venus? And I was like, oh, you still think there's a void, you know? We'll send a probe there and see how the pressure increases, and send the probe out and see how the pressure decreases. The greater, closer to the sun, or the apex, or the primary, the closer to it, the higher the pressure. The further away, the less the influence. Your child, my child, you get my child around me, I've got a great deal of influence on it, and he behaves the way I expect him to behave. You take him outside, you know, to a theme park, and I'm not there, they run crazy.
Right.
Because I'm not there to act upon them. So
Right.
you can use that for propulsion at the same time.
I feel like we could do 100 of these podcasts, but I think we should wrap this one up. We just did about 3 hours.
I saw, when I was looking at a lot of your stuff, I was like, damn, he'd be sitting there talking for 3 damn hours.
You just flew
What
by.
are they talking about? But we haven't even covered half of these things.
Let's do it again.
I would love to.
Let's do it again.
But if you, like I said,
I'm very interested to see how this is received, and I'm very interested to see, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that want to be able to talk to you about this.
I'm leaving those things with you.
Beautiful. I'll keep them
just
right
so
here.
that you can, and if you go into my book, you can walk through and I explain.
I'm going to listen to this
all of
podcast about
stuff.
30 times just to try to get a slippery grip on any of it. But
Thank you.
I really appreciate you, man. I really appreciate you. You're a very rare person.
You too, man. You made the challenge. There's one question I want to ask you before you go.
Sure.
While you were on Fear Factor,
Yes.
and you watched people making choices for that gold,
Yeah.
what was your consensus about human nature in comparison to what dignity and integrity should move somebody to do